Hey, what's going on everybody? Zach from performanceplusprogramming.com. Today, we're talking about getting prepped and warmed up for ring muscle ups. So there are three exercises I really like to do prior to doing ring muscle ups. The first is just gonna be a simple active hang, which we can do either from a pull-up bar or from rings, but we're just gonna work on maintaining a hollow body position and shrugging up, increasing and decreasing the distance between our deltoid and our ear, and that's gonna work on warming up all of those stabilizer muscles around the shoulder blade and the shoulder itself. The second thing I like to do is to work on a little bit of hip swing mechanics. So again, this can be done from the bar or from rings. I typically prefer this from the bar because I really like athletes to emphasize pressing into and pulling on the bar. So I want you to think of ripping the bar off the rig and then throwing it back behind you. And I think the bar does a better job of letting athletes feel that. And so that's gonna really cue and work on their ability to engage the lats with that. The other thing we're thinking about is what's happening at the core. We're gonna think of opening and closing the rib cage as we go between the hollow and arch position. So rib cage closed, open, closed, open. And so what that's gonna do is really work on us generating our kip from the shoulders and the core, not from the hips, which is where we want that to come from. Now, that's obviously gonna translate if we're doing kipping ring muscle ups. If you're doing strict ring muscle ups, that doesn't specifically translate because you're not gonna be doing the kip movement itself, but I still like doing the kip swing prior to strict ring muscle ups just to get that dynamic opening and closing of the shoulder. It's gonna pump a bunch of blood in the shoulder. It's gonna open up your mobility a little bit. So hit that first. Then we're gonna go over to the rings. And one of the most important things with ring muscle ups, whether it's kipping or strict, is where we pull the rings to, as well as what we do once we get the rings to our chest. So to work on that, we're gonna do a toe assisted transition drill. So I'm grabbing my rings in a false grip. I'm dropped down into a little squat where I'm on my tiptoes. I'm gonna work on just pulling the rings to my lower chest. And then once it touches my chest, I'm gonna pull those rings around my chest till I get to the bottom of a dip, and then stand up, and then reverse. So our cues there, pull to the lower chest. From there, I like to imagine that I'm ripping off a buttoned up shirt, and that's gonna keep those rings nice and tight and close to my body. I'm looking forward, chest upright, and then I'm doing the dip to finish out my muscle up. So you've got three exercises there that will really get you prepped for ring muscle ups, whether those are strict or kipping. Hit 2 to 3 rounds of that prior to actually getting to your workout.